and then we'll talk a little bit. Okay. Okay. Folks, as we were listening to Gwen's beautiful description of the incentive trip, she said something very, very powerful, and it was get it done. And those of you who are on the call, those of you who are watching, we're actually broadcasting or streaming live at our website, www.lifeskilltv.com. That's www.lifeskilltv.com. And let me put us on mute. And one of the things that all callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6. One of the things that really got my attention as Gwen was sharing was the fact that a new year is coming. And that's a nice segue into the series. Our next 4 Saturdays will be devoted to a series that we do called New You for the New Year. And it's called that because, every January we make a big deal about New Year's resolutions and how we're going to make the new year different from the last year. But, one of the things that I have learned over the years that if you wait until January to make those resolutions, then you're already starting out with a disadvantage. One of the basic traits of successful people is that they already have clearly defined goals and objectives and a plan of action in advance of the new year. In other words, the new year is really a continuation of the old year taken to a whole nother level. So over these next 2 classes, we'll be talking about what must be done to make the new year much better than the year we're finishing. What must be done to hit those incentive trips? What must be done to achieve those financial goals? What must be done to achieve those personal development or other goals? And so the first step in this process of creating the new you for the new year is to face the facts. You really can't keep fooling yourself about what you've done and making excuses. You can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can't do both. So number 1, face the facts. And the first key to that is to review your wins and your lessons, to review your victories and your apparent defeats. Ben Franklin had a great way to make decisions, and what he would do, take a blank sheet of paper, draw a line down the center, so divide it in half, and then above the center of the paper, draw a horizontal line. So a vertical line down the middle and a horizontal line across about the middle of the page. And on the left side, above that line, write the words victories. And on the right side, above the horizontal line, write the word lessons. And so with these victories, you want to identify all of the good things that you've done, the victories, the things that you've accomplished, the incentive trips, the retreats, the money, right? The personal growth, the happiness, the good health, whatever the good things were that you accomplished, you want to put them on the left side under victories. On the right side now, you want to write those lessons, and you want to write those things that did not work. Probably things that you wouldn't want to do again. And once you list them all for the year, and I mean you look back, one of your lessons may have been, man, I quit too soon. Another lesson may have been, I procrastinated a lot. Another lesson may have been, I was unprepared and this happened. Anyway, you write your victories on the left and your lessons on the right. And you add it up. If you had more victories than lessons, then this was a good year. and you would have to just make some just minor tweaks. In other words, just little minor changes to make the new year a better year. But if you had more lessons than victories, then this was a sign that you need to make significant changes. In other words, you need to go through a radical lobotomy. You need to change your thinking completely. So victories, you make little minor changes to make the new year better. Lessons, you need to make a major change, massive change. And so review your wins and losses, review your victories and your lessons. And as you begin to look at them, you will say to yourself, okay, all right, where I am in my life right now is because of my thoughts, my emotions, my habits, my associations, and the decisions I've made based on all of that. So are you happy with what you see? Are you happy with what you feel? Are you happy with the condition of yourself and your family? Well, if not, then this is your key to do better. You know, it is said that insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And so when you look at your victories and your lessons, and you see that you need massive change, then you've got to do it. If you see minimal changes and adjustments, you've got to do that. In other words, if you want the new year to be different from the year that's ending, you must wake up and face the reality that we've created for ourselves, and then take responsibility for that reality, good, bad, indifferent, and recognize that we can only change the things we take responsibility for. So whatever it is, whatever this year has brought to you, take responsibility for it. You did it. You made the thoughts. You had the actions. You had the emotions. You hung out with the people. You made the decisions that have brought you to this point in time and space. Number two, once you've reviewed your victories and your lessons, you really want to ask yourself this. Okay? What were my goals last year when I started out? In other words, you look at the current year and you reflect back, and what were the goals that you had when you started out the year that's ending right now? Well, number one, if you didn't have any goals, then it's self-explanatory. There was nothing to aim for, nothing to work at, and the results that you got were whatever it is. In other words, your situation is strongly affected by your lack of direction, your lack of goals. You know, we buy calendars, we make New Year's resolutions, and there was a study that by the middle of February, most people not only are not reading their resolutions over, they've actually forgotten what their resolutions or goals they set out to accomplish for the new year. And so you look back and you realize that life is like a garden. Okay? You must affirmatively plant flowers. In other words, you must affirmatively have goals, have objectives, have things that you want to do, be, and have. And as Gwen said, you just got to get it done. If you write a goal and don't work at it, then it's a dream. So you must affirmatively plant flowers. You must affirmatively have goals, have desires, have objectives, and you must actively pull up weeds. So when you set your goals for this upcoming year, write them. As they say, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. If you don't have it written, you know, every goal book tells you to read your goals 2 or 3 times a day, to write them on little index cards, to place them on your refrigerator door, to place them on your mirror, to place them around. Reason, because you have to keep constantly feeding and cultivating those flowers, those good thoughts, those goals, those objectives that you have in your mind. And you must constantly pull up weeds. Do a constant daily analysis. You know, we say the daily question is, the daily objective is, I'll do everything I have today. I'll do everything I have today with what I have to do it with. And the absolute answer is, today I did everything I could with what I had to do it with to make tomorrow the way I want it to be. And so, once you have really written your goals for this year, it is said, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where you have no goals, you fail. Write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. So write your goals now. Tweak them now. Modify them now, so that when January 1st comes, you're off and running. And then finally, the third part of what we say, facing the facts, the third idea of how to create the new year for the new you, is to face the facts. To realize that you are where you are right now because of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your associations, and the decisions you make. Don't blame anyone or anything for your present circumstances. Where you are, what you have, your mental condition, your physical condition, the feelings that you have are the result of the things that you did, the decisions you made, and the actions you take. If the new year is going to be better than last year, then you, each of us, you and I, must get better in every respect. You must be clearer. You must be more effective. You must be more determined. You must be willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to get it done. Our affirmation that we'll close with to begin to set up the new you for the new year is this: every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And I'll say that again. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. How do you determine the future? You create it. And how do you create it? By the thoughts you have, the emotions you harbor, the habits you express, the associations you have, and the decisions you make. To make the new year exactly the way you want it to be, affirm and know that in every way, every day, I'm getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. All right, folks,